Welcome back to Mysteries Crime Stories, the channel where we dive into the darkest crimes, the strangest cases, and the mysteries that have haunted generations. Before we begin, take a moment to subscribe so you never miss these mysteries. Tell us in the comments what you think about the cases we cover, what you'd like to see in future videos, and share this story with anyone who would find it important. Now, let's begin. Ronald Dumas Jr. was a man who carried many roles in life. He was a realtor, a trained chemist, and, most importantly, a father of 3 children. Friends and family described him as hardworking, determined, and someone who cared deeply for those around him. He was balancing his career in real estate with his responsibilities as a parent, and those who knew him say he never missed a chance to be present in his children's lives. On the evening of December 15, 2024, Ronald's routine night quickly became something far more troubling. After dropping off his son, running errands, and handling the typical tasks of daily life, he made a stop at a liquor store on University Drive in Huntsville, Alabama. Surveillance footage captured him inside the store, where he interacted casually, appeared relaxed, and showed no signs of distress. It was there that cameras also captured him with 2 women. They were not known to his family, and their presence would later draw significant attention. After completing his purchase, Ronald walked out of the liquor store, and that was the last confirmed sighting of him. The missing person case. When Ronald did not return home that night, his family grew concerned. He was not someone who disappeared without telling anyone, especially his children. A missing persons report was filed, and Huntsville police began their investigation. At first, as with many adult disappearances, authorities treated it as a routine missing person case. Adults, they noted, can go missing for a variety of reasons, sometimes voluntarily. But Ronald's family pushed back against that idea. They knew his habits, they knew his priorities, and they knew he would not vanish without contact, especially during the holiday season. Their insistence led to more urgency in the search, but days turned into weeks without any trace of Ronald. Shift to abduction. By February 2025, the investigation changed direction. Authorities announced that this was no longer considered just a missing person case. It was an abduction. This shift meant that investigators now had evidence suggesting Ronald did not simply walk away from his life. Instead, he had been taken against his will. Phone records, tips from the public, and surveillance evidence contributed to this conclusion. Ronald's disappearance was no longer seen as voluntary, but as the result of deliberate actions by others. The suspects. As the investigation expanded, several names emerged. Arrest warrants were issued for multiple suspects connected to Ronald's disappearance. One of the central figures was Quintarius Shekelian White. He was a convicted felon with a violent record and was eventually located in Memphis, Tennessee. His charges were extensive, especially aggravated kidnapping, aggravated burglary, trafficking for a commercial sex act, robbery, aggravated assault, and being a convicted felon in possession of a handgun. Alongside him was Kiera Simone Clark, also arrested in Memphis. She faced charges including aggravated kidnapping, aggravated assault, and harboring a fugitive. Other individuals tied to the case included Dedrick Woodard, Cassie Feathers, and Jasmine Braden, who were accused of helping conceal suspects, providing them with shelter or otherwise assisting them in avoiding capture. There were also suspects still wanted at large. These included Tour LaRon McLaurin, wanted for first-degree kidnapping, Sabrina Rochelle Chambers, charged with kidnapping, and Carissa Cash, wanted for receiving stolen property. The wide scope of arrests and charges made clear that Ronald Dumas' disappearance was not a random event. It involved multiple people and suggested an organized effort to abduct and conceal him. The family response. For Ronald's family, the developments brought little comfort. His sister gave interviews pleading for answers, saying they just wanted him home, dead or alive. His 3 children were left waiting for news, struggling to understand why their father had not come back. Vigils were organized in Huntsville, and flyers with Ronald's face were distributed widely. The family worked with local media to keep his case in the public eye, while investigators urged anyone with information to step forward. Motives and theories. While the suspects have been charged, the motive behind Ronald's abduction remains unclear. The charges point toward violent and criminal activity, including trafficking and robbery, but exactly why Ronald became a target has not been publicly explained. Some believe he may have been lured into a setup, possibly by the women seen with him in the liquor store. Others speculate that his work as a realtor may have given the impression of wealth, making him a target for robbery or extortion. Another theory suggests that Ronald may have been in the wrong place at the wrong time, caught in the plans of people with violent intentions. Whatever the case, the sheer number of suspects indicates coordination and deliberate planning, rather than a crime of impulse. Where the case stands. As of September 2025, Ronald Dumas Jr. remains missing. Several suspects are in custody, while others are still at large. But the central mystery, what happened to Ronald, has yet to be solved. For investigators, the case remains active. For Ronald's family, every day without answers deepens the pain. His children, in particular, continue to live without closure. Closing. The abduction of Ronald Dumas Jr. is not just another headline. It is the story of a father, a brother, and a man whose life was suddenly taken from the ordinary into the unexplainable. The arrests show that people know what happened. The suspects who remain on the run prove that the story is not yet finished. Until Ronald is found, the case remains open, and the community of Huntsville continues to wait for the truth.